and welcome back to Echo Base Network. What used to be just a Star Wars channel, we have branched out to other things, but we're still talking about Star Wars here and there. We're making 3 videos today, and one of those 3, Star Wars. Even the Hollywood Reporter has said that Star Wars is the biggest loser, the biggest brand loser of 2024. And everybody is like, not surprised, but I guess it is kind of surprising, Nick, that a site generally regarded as insiders, I mean, it's even in the name, they are shills. They're a shill site. They love these production studios. They get their inside access. And even they are coming out publicly admonishing what Lucasfilm has done. If you look at the 3 main points that they've got, 1, the release date for the Rey movie was yanked and nobody knows what is going on there. The writer has left the project. He's the 3rd writer to leave the project. Who knows what's going to happen with this movie? Very few people really care. Another thing, they announced another Star Wars trilogy, which is laughable at this point because so many of their projects have been canceled, shelved, dusted, cobwebbed, whatever you want to say. And then this whole debacle, which was really good to our channel because we got the most views that we ever had in our channel's history with the Acolyte. It was so bad, it really did bring the fans together.
Man, that was a fun roast of a show.
that was fun. I enjoyed that as well. So those are the reasons why the Hollywood Reporter comes out saying that Star Wars is the biggest loser of 2024. Well, let's look real quick at the other things that we know that's happening with Star Wars, and then we'll get Nick's overall take here. 1, Alan Bergman comes out saying the reason why The Acolyte was canceled, season 2, is because they couldn't afford the cost structure. It was too expensive of a show to make. And here's his actual quote. So as it relates to Acolyte, we were happy with our performance, but it wasn't where we needed to be given the cost structure of that title, quite frankly, to go and make a season 2. So that's the reason why we didn't do that. Well, that is like non-speak pretty much. Yeah. You're not happy, as you say, with our performance. Because if you were happy with the performance, then the cost would have justified the performance. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But it didn't. And that's just, to me, that's an easy way out, but we'll get your opinion. Skeleton Crew is here now. Paul Tassi, who has also a big defender of Disney Star Wars most of the time, he comes out and says that Star Wars is in a death spiral that it cannot get out of. And he says that the major 2 reasons, Nick, that it's in a death spiral is that Star Wars has mined the Skywalker era to death. Han, Luke, and Leia died in the sequel trilogy that nobody wants to talk about. They seem to understand they need to start telling more stories outside of those characters, but no one watches those shows.
Nope.
He's right. Because for many of us, and you say it, Nick, all the time, it doesn't quite feel like Star Wars. And this just in, Andor Season 2 cost $645 million to make. More than The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker combined.
Wow.
And Alan Bergman says, we can't afford The Acolyte, but we're going to go all in here. What? This makes no sense. And the last thing here, this is what they always do. Everything's fine in Star Wars world. We have all of these things on the horizon. More is coming in 2025. Just buckle up. Everything's going to be fine. And Nick, I'm not buying it.
Coach, nobody's buying it. I mean, when you got Paul Tassi coming out talking against them, you got the Hollywood Reporter coming out talking against them. I mean, you cannot have your head in the sand anymore at this point.
The defenders are attacking them.
Yeah, it's non-debatable. It is non-debatable. This franchise is in the toilet. $645 million on Andor season 2.
What a mistake.
You're never going to see that money on a streaming service. Never, ever. Well, talk about waste of money.
Do you think you're going to get that many more Disney Plus subscriptions with Andor season 2? Yeah,
No way.
the first season was solid. I anticipate this season being better. I think Andor season 2 is going to be a great show, but it ain't a $600 million show, Nick.
No, not even close. And I
Does
found the
that mean
first
we're going to get some great scenes, some Death Star or something? Probably.
Yeah, I'm
You
sure
know,
it'll be in there. There'll be some member berries that they'll throw in there, some nostalgia
well,
stuff
they
they'll
have to
throw in
because
there.
it ties
Yeah,
into
yeah,
so close to A New Hope.
yeah. It makes sense. I mean, sort of like in Rogue One, you had the original pilots from
Yeah,
Star Wars in
which was
there.
great.
Yeah, which was awesome. I loved it. I am a big fan. I'm a sucker for nostalgia bait for sure.
Me too.
But
Well, with things that we love.
yeah, on things that we love. But there's a right way to do it, a wrong way to do it. We'll see what they do in season 2. I was not really a big fan of season 1, but season 1 got a lot of good reviews. It's sort of
Yeah,
similar to the Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew's getting good reviews, even though I'm not a fan of the show. Andor
right.
season 1 was very similar. But 645 million, I don't see how you justify that cost for Andor season 2.
You
I
can't.
don't see it. And they're talking about price structure, blah blah blah, this and that from the Acolyte, but then you're going to turn around and dump 645 million into Andor season 2 when the
Doesn't make
viewership
sense.
on Andor season 1 wasn't even that great. It doesn't make any sense. Lucasfilm is losing Disney money. They haven't made them a single penny.
Yep. They are losing money more and more as it comes to Star Wars. I totally agree with that. And Paul Tassi, I got to give him his props, man. It is a death spiral.
Yeah.
He's absolutely correct. And they're getting fewer and fewer in terms of viewership numbers with each passing show.
Yeah.
The Acolyte started out really well in the first 3 episodes because everybody showed up to the circus to watch it burn to the ground.
Yeah. Everybody wanted to watch the train wreck.
Yeah, exactly. Everything else, people have just generally lost interest. And I got to tell you, as a lifelong fan of Star Wars, that's where I'm at right now, guys. I am totally apathetic. I have no hope for the future moving forward. The original trilogy is my first love and will always be that. We are original trilogy purists.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think that we're the demographic of Star Wars fandom that is shrinking the quickest.
Oh, by far, definitely. Plus the games and the toys from the 80s, man,
Absolutely.
they were the best. But I can't even imagine what's going through the minds of the investors at Disney right now. I mean, we're investing in this company and we're investors in Disney, and you guys are just burning money. You are just throwing money on the fire, just
Right.
burning it away. Like, as an investor, I would be infuriated with that Disney board right now. I don't know how Bob Iger still has a job. I don't know how Kathleen Kennedy still has a job. I don't know how any of those people on the board still have a job. I would love to see Elon Musk come in and buy Disney like he did Twitter, fire 80% of the staff there, and turn that whole entire franchise around. Because I mean, Disney owns so much: ESPN, ABC, Star Wars, Marvel. I mean, there's money to be made there, and they are just dwindling it away, and they're destroying it.
They've rendered it moot at this point.
It's a joke.
Yeah, it's nothing. Star Wars no longer has the oomph behind the name that it once had. It's no longer relevant in today's culture. And that's crazy if you think back throughout our lives, the relevance that Star Wars has had on popular culture.
And it's not relevant right now.
It's not. Yeah. I don't know hardly anybody watching Skeleton Crew right now.
Especially kids, which it's geared towards, and you're a teacher of kids.
I know. It's crazy. Nobody's talking about it. Look on YouTube. Very few people are talking about Skeleton Crew. So now, would I like to see Star Wars, start delivering a better product? Yeah, but at this point, that's what apathy does. I'm not like, oh, I hope they fix it one day. I'm just more along the lines of sit back and just, it is what it is. And I'm just going to call it what it is. And if they ever do deliver a show that's really, really good, then I'm going to say that. But if they continue to throw out, crap burgers, we're going to call it. We're going to say what it is. not playing to a crowd, trying to be authentic in our opinions, and that's what we do here. So, Star Wars, no longer what it used to be.
Not even close.
It's just kind of crazy.
It's laughable at this point. I mean, I'm not even sad or upset about it. I'm just laughing at it at this point because that's all you can do.
Right. Now we do happen to have a live stream every week, and we do a lot of Star Wars discussion. But guys, there is a lot to be said about the Star Wars that we do love. We can always remember that. We have to make a concerted effort to be able to do that because we get knee deep in the current state of Star Wars, and you get to the point where you don't even want to talk about the Star Wars that you grew up and love. You know, so we got to make sure that we continue to do that and honor the masterpiece that George Lucas and his team made, 77 through 83.
Yeah.
And if you're a prequel baby and you love those, that's awesome too. Very cool. They're just, they're not up there with the original trilogy for me.
Same. Yeah, I literally just showed my 4-year-old and 7-year-old niece and nephew Star Wars Episode 4. This last week. So I mean, I still love those original films. Nothing that Disney does is going to change my opinion or change my love for the original 3 films. And I'll always have it.
Yep.
And for the toys.
Absolutely. All right, guys, let us know in the comments what you think about Star Wars and its being the biggest failure of 2024, according to the Hollywood Reporter. You are Echo Base Network. See you guys on the next one.
I guess.